When I first entered at Grace School of Theology, it was highly recommended by my friends. When I first entered during the orientation, I will never forget this. Dr. Fred Chay shared something that really resonated to me, and I scribbled it in my notes, and I have it all over my room. That our goal is not just to have a scholar's mind, but to have a shepherd's heart. And so, it's not just Dr. Chay, but even all the professors that I've had, whether it's foundational classes or biblical languages or systematic theology, and even the ministry classes. Every single professor that I've had, they're not just excellent in what they do. They're not just at par in terms of academics. They're not just grace-filled in terms of academics, but they're really in touch with their students in a very different level. I gotta say, I am always excited to attend the live class, even if it's kind of challenging for me. Some of the classes were like 12 midnight my time, or maybe 2 in the morning, but I make sure that I attend if I can. There's a way that they engage with their students that will really make you attentive. And it's not just informational, they're ministerial. They make sure that everything that we learn in class, we get to apply in our lives, not just as ministers, not just as leaders of churches, different churches, but, as disciples. And we always get this reminder that we have to start within our families. And so that's one thing that I really appreciate. The culture that Grace is building is not just in terms of academics, but really making sure that, we apply this, especially discipleship. And so one thing that I also enjoy about this school is we get to have weekly discipleship groups where we get to share lives, get to pray for one another, study the scripture together, and, share how this applies in our personal lives. And, it's always a breath of fresh air every week. I really anticipate this. I really look forward to this, that I get to not just meet new friends, but to share with them and to talk to them. And, until now, the previous groups that I've had, we're still friends. We still get to connect. That's really something, because, Grace is not just a school. It's really more like of a family. And so, just like what I've also mentioned, the classes were not just helpful in terms of sharing. They're good at what they do. The curriculum, the classes, they're very, very, they're not just competitive in terms of seminary, but they're also ministerial. And so I get to apply everything that I've learned in the classes, what I've learned from my professors, from my classmates, and from my friends that I get to have in the discipleship groups. I get to apply all of these things in the ministry that God has entrusted to me in this season. And that is, that means a lot to me, because this is not just for me. What do I do with this knowledge that I have? And so, that kind of culture, that kind of thing that I've learned in Grace, I get to impart. And that for me, that is just something that I'm really, really grateful to the Lord for. And so this is Madel sharing my story to you today. I believe in grace, and I belong to this family.
I believe in grace, and we are one family.